Hey everyone, tonight is going to be one of the coldest nights of the year, so I'm going to show you some cool things we're going to do with hot water. First, I'm going to hook this hose up downstairs so we can get water from the water heater. I do have an outdoor hot water faucet, but I can only do it once. Once the water heater runs out, the fun's over. The water heater is only 30 gallons, so it's only going to go for like 10 minutes of time. And while waiting for it to overheat, the outside faucet would freeze. Because tonight's supposed to get down close to -40 with a wind chill of near -60. It's going to be definitely, probably the coldest night of the year. So the washing machine a while back, I moved it here because it was more convenient. It used to be on this wall, so I got to take this pair of channel locks. I'm going to disconnect the hot water one and hook the garden hose to it. And then we're going to go outside and spray it around before it gets dark. Currently, it's about -20. Today was a cold day. The high temperature only got to -10. I love these days. It's the wind that's a real killer. It's not too bad unless we have that massive wind chill just blasting you. So we're going to disconnect this, go outside, spray it around, and then we're going to wait until it gets dark because tonight we're going to be way down. So cold. There's going to be a little bit of dripping water. No way around that. All right, we got that on there pretty tight. It's kind of hard working in there when you got big fingers because this hose is like right against the pole. All right, everyone, here is the water heater. You can hear it's running right now. This thing is now making the water 145 degrees, and we're going to go outside right now and spray it into -22-degree air. And then later on tonight, we'll do it even colder air. The air is dropping fast as a cold front comes through. It's very windy. All right, all hooked up, no leaks. There goes the hose up the stairs out of the basement. All right, everyone, it's really cold outside. This is probably the only time you'll see me wearing a -30 jacket. My hands are going to be freezing holding on to this. You know, one of my hands will be freezing. The other one holding on to the hot water nozzle will actually feel quite nice. Zip up. We're going to go outside. It is quite windy out. Not sure what the wind chill is right now, but we have a potential of getting down to -60, the feels like temperature. All right, everyone. We're outside right now, and we are on the second floor porch. I think the next time I do this, once the water heater recovers, I'm going to send it out the window and do it on the ground level. I'm going to show you every setting on this hose, all different cool things in the steam. This is plenty cold, but last year we did this. It was around the same temperature, but later on tonight, I'm definitely going to have to do that. Let's see what we're starting off as. The water is not hot yet. That's why it's not doing anything. Wow, I'm getting water over my hands. All right, now you can see it's starting to steam up. All right, the water's still not hot enough to burn me yet. It's not here yet. It has to go through 70 feet of hose. All right, now it's burning hot. Look at it now. Spray that birdhouse over there. Make it all icy. Yeah, now we're super hot. Now it's not reaching the ground where this is spraying. Now we're going to go to a different setting. Look at that, flat. That's a flat setting. Now we have shower setting. Completely vaporizing. Nothing is going down and hitting the ground. I love that. Now we have flood, which is kind of boring. That is hitting the ground. Now we have center fire. Jet setting. I think we have two jet settings on this. One of them is more aggressive than the other. And look at this one. Cone. I think cone is really nice. I wish it wasn't as windy. Maybe the wind will calm down later tonight. Because it looks a lot better when it's not super duper windy out. Now that right there, that might be the cone setting. So what was that other one? That was like a shower cone, I guess. Well, jet again, flat, shower. Oh, so that one's missed. That's the one I missed. That's kind of funny what I just said. Look at that. Love doing this. If I keep spraying it right there, you could probably make ice all over that tree branch. I don't think the water hitting that is hot enough to actually kill the tree because it's so cold out. Shut it off for a brief second, let the steam clear. Yeah, that's gonna freeze right to the tree. I think later on tonight I might leave it on mist setting that we can go around spraying some things, making some ice secretion. Yeah, we're gonna try this again in like a half an hour when the water heater heats back up. It hasn't run out, but I'm gonna let it completely heat back up and we're gonna do it on the ground level. All right, everyone, we gotta do this on the ground level now. That was no fun doing it off of the porch, so I gotta make some room in this window now. Look at that, there's frost. It's so cold out, the frost came right into the house. Look at that. All right, we got the window open. It's absolutely freezing. Look at all that frost. So I'm just gonna leave the hose here. I'm gonna pull it out from outside because in this weather, I can't just throw it out the window. It'll freeze within 5 minutes, that nozzle and hose. So here's the hose nozzle. I'm just gonna leave that right there and I should be able to grab that from the outside, hopefully. All right, everyone, it's 10 minutes later and I brought the hose downstairs. Now let's give it a good spray. It's gonna take a minute for this thing to heat back up again. Gotta get that boiling water from the water heater going once again. It's only gonna take a matter of a minute. Then we'll give this a try. All right, here comes the hot water. It's not completely here yet. It's still touching the ground. It's still getting hotter. Now, there we go. That's the jet setting. That's the center shower setting. Look at that. That is the cone setting. The cone setting is kind of awesome. That's a different jet setting. I think one of them is more powerful than the other. I guess for cleaning different things. That is flat. There's a good amount of wind. I wish it wasn't windy. It looks so much better. That is shower. Now, if I was standing behind it, my entire body is gonna get covered in ice secretion. Just let myself get in it, and I'll show you when I get in the house. And right there is a flood setting. Flood setting doesn't look that great. Mist. Mist setting completely vaporizes it, and it's very water efficient. And we're back to jet. Alrighty. So until the water heater runs out, let's just have a little bit of fun with it. Let all that steam dissipate for a moment. I love doing this. I did it last year too. I'm surprised that most people online just do this with a bucket of hot water. I've never seen anyone else bring out a hose like this. Too bad this nozzle's kind of a piece of junk. It started leaking like that almost the day I bought it, and it just gets worse and worse. But at least it's still working a couple years later. Yeah, we're still pretty hot, but now I'm starting to notice the water. Some of it is actually reaching the ground. I think we're cooling down a little bit. The water heater has just about ran out. Wow, that looks actually so cool how it's coming out of here. Just being vaporized. It feels so nice being in the steam. That feels awesome. but I'm getting covered in ice secretion. Wow. Wow, we're getting windy again. Woo! All right, we ran out of hot water. It's no longer hot enough to burn me. So we're gonna wait a little while. We'll come back out here in maybe an hour or so when it's completely dark. That'll actually look more awesome against the dark sky because I'm gonna turn on a bunch of floodlights I'm gonna bring out here. Just bring them out with some extension cords, I guess. Are you able to tell? I didn't spray myself a lot because I don't want this jacket to become wet when I go inside, but there's a good secretion on it. If I sprayed it, it would freeze almost instantly and be hard and crunchy. Holding on to that hot water faucet really helps me not freeze. But if I stay out here any longer, my hands are gonna start getting numb. My hands are damp. If I pick up the metal tripod now, they're gonna stick right to it. And because the tripod is so cold, it's gonna just transfer that heat right into my hands. And it's like almost instant frostbite. It's just like you see it in the movies, someone putting their tongue on a metal pole. Same thing with any wet part of your body sticking to metal. So better not pick up the tripod at all. I'm just gonna grab the camera or grab the tripod like this. Alrighty everyone, a lot of people in my comments were asking me, does this wood stove actually heat the entire house? Yes, it does. Even in temperatures like this, it keeps the entire building at a cozy 75 degrees or so. It finds its way around. It's billowing out the door, up the stairs, around the house, all the heat. The cold air returns along the floor. It definitely is going through the ceiling. It finds its way around. This room right now is... That temperature is just on the ceiling because I was worried about the toilet wax ring. But this room itself is probably around maybe the upper 70s, while the rest of the house currently is around 72. Today I thought this was pretty cool. Usually the chimney is dripping all over the ground, but today it's got big icicles hanging from it. All right, so I bought this right here. It's a carpet steamer. It says $15, but I got this at a tag sale. Somebody was getting rid of this during their tag sale. I haggled them down, I think, to $5. I bought this because I'm wondering, can I make gigantic steam clouds with this? All right, everyone, so first of all, I'm bringing the carpet steamer here into the bathroom, and we're gonna fill it up, plug it in before we even bring it outside, and make sure it works. It even smells like bleach. The last person was probably using it to steam clean white carpets or something. So let's fill it up with water. Yeah, the water heater still is not hot yet. So I'm only filling it up with warm water. I think you're supposed to fill it up with just cold water, but I think warm water will help it along, maybe even make it hotter. All right, so here's the deal. I was storing this in my shed, and down here where it drains into is frozen solid. We're gonna have to come back to this in a few hours. I'm gonna leave this thing next to the wood stove and let it thaw out. I don't know how water got into that. It's been in storage for like a year and a half since I bought it. I guess it came with some water already in it and it froze. I would not have imagined it would have, but let's hope it didn't break something inside. All right, everyone. We're back outside. Now we're gonna try spraying this again. It's been about 3 hours, so it's now around 10 p.m. and temperatures are now down to about -35 or so. And it's only 10 o'clock. According to the forecast, we're supposed to keep dropping. It says that outside is like 6 degrees warmer than it actually is, but I think that's because where I live, there's so many hills and mountains, the recording station probably is just slightly warmer. All right, so I put a new nozzle on the hose. It's a cheap one, but it's brand new, so it shouldn't leak. Oh, gotta undo this, it looks like. No? Is this thing frozen already? This thing is frozen. Are you kidding me? Watch. Put water all over it. Try to thaw it out. We're getting the hot water out here. It'll be out here any minute. That feels so good, the warm water. Here we are, hot water. Come on, move, move. We got it moving, we got it moving. Kink the hose, kink the hose. All right, get it back on fast so it doesn't freeze again. All right, let's see how the new nozzle works. Jet setting. Amazing. Next setting is fan. This one actually says what they are. Fan setting. Center setting. That is full setting. This one's full setting is a lot better than the other one, which is just like a faucet. Mist. Garden, it says, which is the shower. Flat. Jet. And back to fan again. All right, I'm gonna back off so you can really see me do this stuff. Aim you up at the sky. That is awesome. Center. That's the full setting. Mist. Shower. Wow, look at that. Woohoo! Jet. That's incredible. Now you're probably wondering, how am I out here not freezing my hands off? This hose is so hot. It's so nice holding on to it. Look at that, amazing. That's so cool. Wow, with this new set, this new nozzle, this is more epic than last year. Yeah, making circles. Let it dissipate. Well, you're seeing now, that's just steam coming off my hands. Incredible. Let's try spraying a little bit of it into this tree. I don't want to hurt the tree, so I'm not going to like leave it spraying in there because it would eventually weight it down until it started breaking branches off it like during an ice storm. But just spraying it a little bit. Look at that, it even made some snow. Do you see that? Yeah, we're making some ice secretion on those tree branches. Whoa, that looks so awesome. Look at the wind going through that. Awesome. All right, I can already tell we're starting to run out of hot water. So we're gonna wait about another half an hour and then we're gonna come out here with a few different types of sprinklers to see how they perform in this. And then I'm going to go for a drive up one of the nearby mountain roads. And the elevation there is so steep that we may see like negative 45 in temperatures. That's what I'm hoping for. And while I'm on that mountain road, I'm going to leave the sprinkler here running for like an hour. I don't have a water heater that big, but we're just going to use plain old cold water, and maybe it'll make something cool like a skating rink under it. Wow. I have so much ice in my mustache and beard. Let me try to turn this around and show you guys. Hopefully you're able to see. How's it look? I don't know if you're able to see that or not. I think you are. Go out and start trying different sprinklers to show you guys, and I don't think I have enough hose. I think I'm going to have to put another hose on the end of this, which is going to be a lot more to keep pulling back and forth through that window. All right, everyone, we just set up a second set of hose to get the sprinkler far enough away from the house. So the first one I'm going to be showing you guys is this. When the water heater recovers, I have a different kind. That's going to make a gigantic spinny cloud of steam. All right, just pulled some hose out of the house. I got to kink it, remove this nozzle, all in a timely manner before it freezes up. Get this nozzle back in the house as soon as I go back in. Oh no, is it frozen? Am I even going to be able to connect it? Oh no. All right, we got it connected. It might leak a little bit, but I'll tighten it when it melts. All right, as soon as I let go of the kink, hot water is going to start passing through. Give it a minute. It'll start going. 1, 2, 3. Wait for it, wait for it. This is going to be epic as soon as the hot water hits. Oh, it's starting. This is going to be epic. Wait for the hot water. It's got over 100 feet of hose. 120 feet of hose. It's still gaining heat. It's still getting hotter. You hear all those loud bangs? The porch on the house is shifting. Also, the trusses in the house have been making loud, huge bangs all night. All right, I think that's the hottest we're gonna get. I really wish it wasn't windy. If it wasn't windy, this would look so cool if it was still. Let's get a little bit closer so I can show you guys. Let's see how close I can go without getting wet. It's so cold out that the camera has actually shut down multiple times. Wow, can you see that up close? Can you see up close? Each droplet of water has so much steaming ability. Wow, maybe the hot water wasn't even out here because it just suddenly got more dramatic. This area is going to be a skating rink by morning. Yeah, we'll definitely give this another shot when there's no wind. That'd probably look cooler. And the sprinkler's actually tipping over because it's melting itself out. Not as cool as I thought. We'll try another sprinkler once the water heater recovers. The whole ground is already frozen from it. Already a thick crust. Oh no, the wind's shifting. The wind was powerful enough blowing all the droplets that I could actually approach it pretty well. There's gonna be so much ice here in the morning. Here's a view from up on the porch. Not too much of a difference. All right, because the sprinkler can't just be shut off, we got to shut the water off in the house. Now we can pull it back through the window. Make sure that connection's good. Yep, it was a little loose. I think pulling it up into the window actually drained most of the water. So we're good. All right, everyone. We are back in here. And we're going to see if we can get this thing to work now. It should have defrosted. It's been more than 4 hours. All right, let's stick that upside down. Now let's plug it in the wall. Plug back here. All right. Let's switch it on. It's doing something. I wonder how long it'll take to make steam, if it even works. I always touch things with the back of my hand real fast because I'm always paranoid about new things zapping me or whatever. There's no other buttons on it, just that one. Oh, I already hear it sizzling. It's heating up. I hope it's powerful. This is going to be awesome if it is. We're going to bring this thing straight outside with an extension cord. I'm going to put it in the sink for a little while until it heats up, and then I'll show you guys once it's fully heated. Yeah, I hear it sizzling, and the other end is... All right, this thing has been running for about 20 minutes or so, and this is as hot as it's going to get. It's been making this weird noise, too. That noise was a buildup in the loop of water going bloop, bloop, bloop as pressure was going by it. Look at this. It's making a good amount of steam. What do you think this is going to look like outside in negative 35-degree weather? We're going to go out and find out. And this thing's very efficient. It's been running 20 minutes and it only went down like half an inch. This would run such a long time. You know what I'm honestly thinking about doing with it? When I have to work out in the garage on really cold days, space heaters just don't cut it. They're not warm enough. But you know what I'm thinking I could do with this? Because it's scalding hot. I'm thinking I could remove the end of this, hook it into an old cast iron radiator, and I believe this would actually heat it up. Alright, I wanted to show everybody this. Every single window in the house has this heavy frost around it, except the window next to the wood stove. It's being heavily melted. You know, I gotta be honest with you, when I saw what it was doing in the basement, I didn't think it was gonna be that exciting. But now that we got it outside, it is steaming a whole bunch. That's actually incredible. I love this thing. Love this. I'm definitely not throwing this out. I can't believe I considered getting rid of this thing a couple days ago because it was in my way. It works exactly for the reason I got it. Oh, it's so warm on my hands. Look at that. Whoa, it feels so good. That actually feels really good being in this steam. It's so refreshing. As long as I stay in the cloud, it's keeping me warm. Whoa. I love that thing. Big gust of wind just went through me, and my arms and my fingers are becoming numb. I have to go back in the house. I've only been out here less than 5 minutes, but without a jacket, this is bad. Do you hear the wind? You hear that tree creaking? When it's this cold, it's like the sap inside the trees freezes, so they creak and moan like crazy. It's really creepy and eerie. But that carpet cleaner was awesome. If you guys ever find one at a tag sale and you live in a cold climate, you could have a lot of fun. I need it to keep me warm. That actually is making a huge difference just standing in that steam. Get it on my arms. It's warming me up. But as soon as I get away from it, it's just going to make me even colder. That is amazing. I love this steam. Wow. I just brought it back in the house. I'm going to use it as a humidifier for a little bit. Now, when this cold weather, I've actually already burned myself a couple times on this. It can literally burn you. It's so cold. It's like touching nitrogen. You got to pick it up with gloves to bring it back in the house. I picked it up with my shirt. And if you touch this for more than a couple seconds, it will literally burn you like nitrogen. If you know what that feels like. Definitely don't try it. It's not pleasant at all. If I was to put my tongue on this, I would get it stuck to it, and it would hurt so bad. Definitely not as much fun, not as much steam inside the house. When I brought the steamer in the house from outside, the cord was so stiff from the cold weather, it felt like a hard cable. And I just realized it's fraying a little bit right here. So another day, when I'm completely bored, I'm going to have to take it apart, and I'm going to have to bring the cord in a little more, fix that. If it is that type of cord, I might just have to replace the whole thing with new strainer relief. All right, everyone, the water heater recovered. This is the next sprinkler we're going to bring outside. Look at all the cool settings. I'm just going to hold it by the handle and spray it in front of me, and then we'll set it down on the ground, which with some interesting ones, I guess. And I'm going to have to approach it and get a little bit wet, but that'll be okay. We'll get to see some cool ice secretion on my jacket. It's even more windy outside right now. The wind chill is down so low. They said tonight we're going to have wind chills down probably worse than -60. I just checked the weather again. All right, I just ran inside and turned the water on. Just wait for it to get hot, and I'll run in there and pick it up for a few minutes. I'm going to be so cold that I'm going to have to run back into the house. Can you hear the violent cracking of the hot water melting the ice we made earlier? Whoa! Heard that big bang? It always scares me. That's the porch made out of wood. It's shifting around, banging. Wind is even worse. All right, let's see if we can do a couple settings with this. See how it looks. I gotta be careful. We have like 18 inches of snow on the ground and a lot of sleet. When it's this cold, it's solid. I fell on my butt so many times tonight. That's not so bad. It's not even that bad because it's hot water. All right, let's try some settings. Look at that, it's a giant shower. Gigantic shower setting. That's kind of cool, right? Next one is, it's a half circle. And the next one is, I guess it's a full circle, but at an angle. Now that one is a full cone. Like it's more of a mist, while the other one was heavier. This is for more delicate plants when you're watering them. Look at that. That looks kind of cool. And we're back to the other setting. This is the best one for the cold weather. It vaporizes it because it's like a mist. Let me put it back down and we can watch it. Ah! Yeah, look at my jacket. It freezes instantly on contact. I hope you guys were able to see what I was doing pretty well. That was a lot of fun. This sprinkler is a lot better than that one I was using earlier spinning. This is probably going to be the candidate that's gonna stay out here a few hours and see what it does on the ground. Yeah, just approaching that. I should have waited until a big wind like this to go up to it. Wow, that is blowing so far. It's blowing like over 100 feet away before it dissipates. Real nice. All right, we're gonna pull this sprinkler back in the house. In about half an hour, when the water heater is fully heated again, we will bring out our last one, that type of sprinkler. All right, everyone, we are going out with the next and final sprinkler of the night. All right, here we go with this sprinkler. Listen to the violent cracking of it landing on the ice we made with the other sprinklers. This looks pretty cool. It looks like the hot water finally got out here. That does look awesome. Hear all the ice shattering because the hot water is suddenly touching the ice and it just shatters. Such a drastic change in temperature. All right, I'm gonna show you a time lapse of the rest of this one until it runs out. And then at the very end of the video, I'm actually gonna run around in this. It'll be so much fun. But I wanna get the cone sprinkler, the last one. That'll be the most fun. First, I wanna go out on that drive I was talking about. It's kinda dangerous to go out wet. If I ever broke down, I'm kinda not good. Yeah, I didn't wait long enough. I don't think we had enough time for the water heater to actually recover this time. I only waited 20 minutes. It obviously wasn't enough time. Not enough steam. But at least you got to see it at first. It's not going to make much of a difference. We will definitely do this again later this year or next season when it's really cold out again, hopefully without the wind. I've been in and out tonight dozens of times, and it's making my hands really, really dry. I got a sore throat from going in and out like that. So I decided to let this thing keep running. We have now put almost an entire gallon of water into the air. This thing works great as a humidifier. Does it really fast. Puts about a gallon in every 2 hours into the air. Nice. Having a little bit of dinner before heading out onto the road to look around at the cold weather. I was going to cook these out on the grill, but I realized there is a gas leak happening, which is kind of dangerous to light it. I'll figure out if it's the tank or the grill in the morning. One time it was actually the Blue Rhino tank. The valve was leaking out of the stem, so I brought it back, and they had to give me another one, even though I used half of it already, because it was very dangerous. If you guys saw, this is leftovers from my last camping video. Good enough. This is the first time I've ever seen alcohol toothpaste freeze. And I know this is strong stuff. What's the alcohol content? 26% alcohol, and it froze. Wow. I'm always afraid using this in the car because I'm always worried if I get pulled over, it'll make me fail a breathalyzer. All right, everyone, I learned you got to be careful when it's this cold. I fell down so many times because the snow gets so hard when it's this cold. It just becomes a flat surface, and it just, you fall down on. I must have fell on my butt like 5 times today. I'm so embarrassed. And the car door almost didn't open. As soon as we warm it up, it's going to get even more sticky. It's just frozen shut. Now, it's negative 35 out. Let's see how rough of a start the car has, because we're just going to go on our drive up to higher elevation. I want to see if I can. I want to see negative 40 today. I really do. All right, I just don't want the radio to start playing. Yeah. Come on, off. Wow. That sounds bad. That is the roughest start I have ever heard in this car. I actually feel bad for the car that I started it. Wow, big giant clouds just came out the exhaust pipe. That is the roughest start I've ever had. I showed you guys in another video, I started the car when it was like -20, and it was not nearly that bad. Wow, that made me cringe. It literally sounded like metal on metal, because 90% of wear and tear on an engine is in the first 30 seconds of startup because it's not lubricated yet. That's why I hate that stop-start technology. And this right here, yeah, that started really rough. But this car's still going. It's got over 300,000 miles. My next car, I think I'm going to get a engine oil pan heater so I don't have to put it through that kind of stress. I learned that for this vehicle it would only be 80 bucks. So the next one I'm definitely going to do that. It seems like something very simple I can do. You'll have a electrical wire sticking out of the grill and you just plug it in at night so it keeps the oil warm and it'll start up nicely like it does in the summertime. Yeah, I'm going to let it idle for like 10 minutes because I just don't want to put the stress on these very cold parts. Coldest weather I've ever driven in. I have the little buddy heater in here with some propane. I got my -30 jacket just in case I was to get stuck because there's no signal where I'm going. Let's turn on the defroster. I never use the heat until the temperature gauge on the engine starts moving because that's even more stress on the system. Yeah, the whole car, it's still shaking. That's the roughest start I've ever heard. Yeah, that literally felt to me like the pistons just rubbing together so badly on the metal walls. Cringeworthy. Do you hear that loud noise? When it's really cold, I think the ductwork shrinks around the fan, so it makes that noise. And when I first took off, the tire was like boom, 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 because the little flat spot where the car was sitting kind of froze, and I never had that before where it had to like buff it out. Whoa, big frost heaves. So everyone, this is the first time this has happened. As soon as I got out into the main road and tried to go fast, the car wouldn't shift. I had to hit the gas so hard to finally get it to move. The transmission fluid must have been so thick. It's not having a problem now. On a normal day, despite the high mileage, the transmission shifts like the day I bought it. Actually better than the day I bought it, because it used to have rough shifting. But then I changed the transmission fluid. It must have been too dirty, because the last owner mustn't have known that even though it's called a forever fluid, you're supposed to still do it every 60,000 miles. Forever fluid means they're the warranty of the car. Also, I got out because I needed to wipe off my headlights. They were absolutely covered in road salt. Stupid me tried to use the edge of my sleeve, which made it all white. It came off easily, so I grabbed the paper towel and that's what I used. Always want to make sure your headlights are clean occasionally, because sometimes that can really diminish your visibility. It really helped me. Today it took absolutely forever to get the engine up to temp. I just drove like an hour and somehow I managed to drive to a warmer place. I thought it was going to be colder, higher elevation. Some reason it's not. Alright, I just put down the windows. I want you to listen to this squeaky snow. It sounds so nice driving in this. Awesome. Oh, we dropped down another degree. just drove into another parking lot, and this place sounds even better. I think it sounds better here. When I stopped to go up this road, I couldn't. This road is very slippery. You're gonna see my skid mark right there. See it? I skid a little bit. If it wasn't for the snow tires, I would have gone a lot further. Whoa! Whoa! That's the worst frost heave I've ever found. Look at all the exhaust steam I'm making. It's backed up because I just wanted to show you that. Tree fell over into the snowmobile lane. And I don't think I can move that without a chainsaw. Can I? Give it a good old shot. Not happening without a saw. But wait, I just went camping and I do have a handsaw. Whoa, the road is very slick. It just slid in my leg, went under the car. Very slippery road. Didn't realize it until I just slipped. See all the drifting snow? It's kind of cool. I guess that's one good thing about road salt. Road salt makes it really bright so you can see. The wind is really whipping out there. All right, everyone, the final time we're gonna do this tonight. We're just waiting for the hot water to get out here. It's had like 3 hours to recover. Finally got some steam. Let's go play in it. Wow, there's so much ice here from the sprinkler. Whoa. That feels so good. Oh my gosh, my beard just froze solid with ice. All it takes is a big gust of wind and it just instantly freezes my beard. Woo! All right, don't want to be out here more than 5 minutes doing that. That's how you get hypothermia. You see my beard? Look at that. I have so much ice in my beard. The hair on my arm has frozen. My clothes are starting to become crispy. Yeah, my leg hair, everything is all crispy. My clothes are starting to harden. But that felt good when it was right on me. All right, I'm gonna get in the house quickly and we're done for the night. I might come out later and leave a sprinkler on for a few hours just so we can look at the secretion when it becomes daylight. I gotta get out of here. All right, everyone, I'm back outside. I can't stop having fun with this. I just put the sprinkler here in the middle of the septic field. It goes back and forth so slowly, it should already be hardened where it last passed. I'm gonna let this thing run with cold water, not hot water. I switched it over so we're not wasting a lot of electricity. Now, I'm gonna let this thing run for like 4 hours. I can't wait until morning when there's daylight to see how much ice secretion there is here on the septic field. All right, everyone, it's been 3 hours. We left the sprinkler going 3 hours. Did it do what I expected? Wow, it did. Look, this whole area is sheer ice. Very thick too. It's still a little bit slushy, so I'm not gonna interrupt it. Wow, this is why I couldn't pull the hose in through the window. Look at this. The hose melted itself down inside of this crevice. Yeah, look at that. It's down inside there. That's actually really cool. You see the little vent where the heat was coming out of? Yeah, we gotta get this thing out of here. Look at the sprinkler. Look at all the ice around it. No wonder I couldn't pull this back in through the window when I just tried. Hope I can get that off without breaking it. Thankfully, it's still slushy. That's my favorite sprinkler, and I want that in the summer. I don't want to break it. Let's disconnect it before everything freezes. I'm going to need both hands. Come on, disconnect. I don't know if I can. Let's just rip up the hose, and then we'll bring this in the house, and then it'll thaw out. All right, I just stomped around it and got the hose out. I can't get the ice off it, but we're just going to bring this whole thing in the house. That's my favorite sprinkler in the summertime for watering the garden. I don't want to break it or force it, so we're going to bring this in the house so it can defrost. I cannot get that off at the moment. That like flash froze, even though I just shut this off like a couple minutes ago. We're going to bring this whole thing back to the house, pull it in through the basement window, and let it thaw out. This whole place, it's still slushy because I just shut the water off. But when we come out here in daylight, I bet the whole thing's going to be like a skating rink. Tomorrow, the temperature is going to be negatives all day for the high, which is really exciting. All right, right up against the house. We'll bring that in later. This is a really awesome snowdrift that's somehow accumulated next to the house. It's like a little mountain range. Wow, I just shut the window. It's been cracked for hours, so the hose could go out. So frosty in there. And yes, that tape is there so the hose doesn't scuff up the woodwork. So I got everything back in the house. We're completely done now. I'm going to go bring this over to the sink so it can defrost. And now with the hose, what I do with this is I'm going to put the other end of this in the sump pump pit. And then with the other end of it, just hold it up, you know, drain it all out so the hose is empty. Then I can put it back in the garage. You never want to put a hose away unless it's empty because it could freeze and expand, breaking it. Now, most hoses these days are pretty cheap that they sell. They're usually made out of vinyl or PVC. This one right here, believe it or not, it's a 30-year-old Craftsman hose, and it's still around. It has spent every summer outside, and it's still in perfect shape. Most hoses these days last only a year or two. This is also a real rubber hose here. Real rubber hoses stay flexible no matter how cold they are, basically, while ones made out of that newer materials, if I tried to use one of those, this thing would be so stiff, it'd probably crack in half if there wasn't hot water flowing through it. All right, everyone, it's the next morning. Take a look at all the ice. This is from where we were spraying it last night. Most of the yard already had a good layer of sleet so I could walk on it, but this is a lot stronger. Now if we walk over here, this is where that sprinkler was set up last night, and I said I wanted to wait for it to harden overnight to see what it turned into. Look at it now. That's pretty solid. Much harder to break it. The only reason I'm able to break it well is because there's fluffy snow underneath it, which doesn't have great support. But look at that. There is over an inch of ice that we sprayed out over that period of 3 hours. And that sprinkler sprays really far. This is thick enough, I believe, that I could probably ice skate on it. Maybe. Maybe if I gave it another couple coatings. Yeah, it's only a very concentrated area where it's thick, it seems. But if you look over here, gotta be careful I don't slip. You can see that it dribbled right here a bit. I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching. And unfortunately, our temperature has already risen back up to -12. I wish it would stay cold.